Indians from Asia, from India, and the same. Their brothers and sisters from Indians from Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana, who are obviously uh, brought as servants over 100 years ago by the British, and now they're born in Guyana and the Caribbean countries. But, similar to study, why, for example, the Indians from Guyana do not have as many doctors, medical doctors, as opposed to Asian Indians from India. They have a lot of medical doctors within there. They have similar talent pools in terms of genes, I would say, right? Or the same thing with African Americans and Africans. Why is there a difference between Africans achieving more higher educational attainments than African Americans while facing similar racial obstacles? And if so, then how is it that Africans are able to overcome that? Is there any family differences? So the 7 steps is an interesting way to approach these kinds of questions or similar questions like this. So, for example, the first of this is the social class of a person's family. The social class of a person's family obviously is a very important factor in being able to explain to us uh, why. So, for example, a family's the father's education level, the mother's education level, all those are factors that are very important. Income level, that obviously contributes to how a child is inculcated, the level of language that he or she is exposed to. Uh, all of these factors obviously play a very important role in explaining how. So that would be in this flow chart the socioeconomic background. That would be the first step. Okay, the measuring intelligence, that would be the second step, the ability of the person, right? Uh, how do we essentially, obviously, being born intelligent or just with normal intelligence helps, right? Uh, but obviously, if you just even have normal intelligence and you're born in a social class of a highly educated family or income, that helps you perform better in terms of the academic performance, the third step, because you might be exposed to more books, you might be exposed to more discussions and analysis, a higher use of vocabulary that is more academic, and therefore, by the time you get to school, you might know more words. Your parents might be able to um, expose you to more education and the skills of succeeding in education, book smarts. Okay, uh, obviously encouragement by significant others. By significant others, we're talking about those who are very close to you in your upbringing, your loved ones, as they say, your grandparents, your uncles, aunts, whoever's close to you, your step parents, whoever is raising you. Okay, if you're like Jungle Book, and if a bear and a Black Panther is raising you, then they become your significant others. So whoever's raising you uh, is very important in terms of the encouragement. So if you come from a broken family and there's not too many people encouraging you, and there's not support, I mean, I see a lot of stable middle class families, for example, where if the parents don't get the child a gift, you see that the next day the grandparents come and bring the child a toy car or toy bike that the parents didn't give them. So you see, you have several dimensions and layers of support, emotional support, financial support, that help you in your self-esteem and encouragement towards your life's attainments. And that's also very important when you study a person and see what effect these significant other of their families members of their loved ones had on them. And then your own performance and ability based on the social class you're born in, the level of your parents' education, certainly influences your educational aspirations and occupational aspirations. Uh, there's something called, um, the name escapes me now. I'm sorry, yeah, it is. I just, anticipatory socialization. Anticipatory socialization, right? If you were born, say, as a prince and your father's a king of a society, obviously you're groomed to take up, right? If you're Donald Trump's son or daughter, right, obviously you're groomed. There's an anticipatory socialization of what you're expected to become, what your education aspirations and your occupational aspirations are, in terms of the way they speak, in terms of the expectations that are created in the vocabulary of the household, right? If your parents are all both medical doctors, well, I mean, it's subtle, but the educational aspirations, the occupational aspirations of you are, there's an anticipatory socialization. If your parents, so one's educational aspirations is a combination of one's how one does in school and how one's school treats us. So, for example, if you have teachers who treat you well, encourage you, and you yourself have talents, biological talents, even if it's normal, but let's say even if it's a little above that, that certainly influences your educational aspirations and occupational desires. Uh, and then that affects how far you're able to take. There are a lot of students I have who say they want to become medical doctors in Bronx Community College. They have aspirations, but then if they don't perform well in the classes you need to perform well in biology and math and chemistry, they're not able to have the educational attainment. And therefore, they have to revise and go from a pre-med major to, say, criminal justice or something, right? So one's educational aspirations certainly are important. One certainly gets a lot of it from one's family and their surroundings, but also from school. But again, the school itself is a function of the family you were born into because of the neighborhood that you live in. So that's what this flow chart is supposed to show. These are these are the 7 steps of helping us understand studying individuals and how each step that they are, you know, each step can help us guide the mechanisms through which can help explain to us why somebody has become who or she they have become. Uh, and so while these are the steps, this flow chart is explaining those steps. Your socioeconomic background, your measure, your intelligence, meaning your ability, rank, academic. That the third is rank. Academic performance is essentially rank in school and high school, whatever. Encourage the fourth here, encouragement by parents, teachers, which we mean by significant others. That would be the fourth here, by significant others. Uh, Fifth, educational aspirations and occupational aspirations. That has to do with right here, your plans, occupational educational plans, and then what you attain, which is your sixth. And then lastly, seventh, right here, is your occupational attainment. Okay? So the flow chart, which is what the Wisconsin model, helped explain the mechanisms through which help us understand the social psychological variables that help explain for us at the individual level how people are navigating through their life's courses. I'll stop now. This video has become almost 40 minutes, so I'll have to cut into 4 or 5 parts, at least 4 parts, and then I'll make another video tomorrow. Hopefully everything is clear. Please email me if you have any questions. Wish you well. Take care. I'll communicate in another video again. Take care. Bye.